I won't live in your cage.
Oh my goodness, that was not just his voice, guys!
Ooh, bacon.
Greetings, tasty morsels. It's Reverse BLT here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are watching the penultimate episode of the second season of The Wheel of Time, which is entitled Dae'mar, which is the term for the game of houses, which is political intrigue and everything in Cairhien specifically. The Cairhien are well known for being very political creatures who have basically elevated the wheeling and dealing and backstabbing and everything else that goes along with politics to a high art. So, very curious title. I assume that basically we'll be focusing a lot on what House Dae'mar has been up to, how they've managed to improve their house's standing so much after what happened with King Laman.
Who now?
Who has been kind of alluded to several times. You know, obviously Moiraine is going to be heavily involved in this. That is her house. And she is quite good at Dae'mar herself. And we'll probably get into a bit more of, you know, an important sort of development phase for Rand, because it was a pretty big part of the books was, well, not big in terms of time, but like, because it was sort of spread out really. So I guess, yeah, in terms of time, but like, point being, it was important for him to understand how politics worked, you know, considering that he is the dragon. That's the amount of power that brings with it naturally also makes you politically important. And so he needs to understand how to navigate all of that. And so I think we'll be getting into that a lot too.
Just a skosh.
You know, I'm sure most of you are also at this point a bit suspicious of what's going on with Moiraine's sister and her nephew. I personally think one or both of them is sworn to the dark. And I'm just not sure exactly which, you know, possibility is going to be, whether it's Barthanes or Lanfear or both. All three scenarios present interesting possibilities for House Dae'mar, for Moiraine, for the greater political picture of the world they're in, especially considering this Swan just arrived with 14 members of the Aes Sedai. I was thinking in the last episode that that number was significant because it seemed like an appropriate number or a required number to be able to cast votes for certain things. Folks on Twitter of Time pointed out something else that I will not actually talk about here because it would possibly be a bit of a spoiler. But 14 also has significance in terms of, well, in relationship to Rand, let's just put it that way. If they are right about that being the reason, then it will probably come up in this episode, so we can talk about it afterward, but I'm not going to talk about it now, just in case. Last episode, obviously, the really big thing that happened was Egwene, you know, so I assume we will also talk a little bit more about that. And Matt, of course, discovered that Min was lying to him and ended up not going with Rand because of the fact she told him that he would kill Rand if he was around him, so you know, yeah, let's just go right on ahead and get into it. And before I do, I really probably should put on my focus ring just in case I need to tune massive amounts of the one power or something in this episode. And I'm still hoping for my Mirren Farnsworth cold open. Those of you who know.
Do you like to dance? Giotto is the IOA.
Yay, Avienda! Don't worry, guys, we will get Gaul. It's just Avienda's a little more important to the overall story.
With the war, it's been so hard to think about any future beyond these walls, and when I think about us, where we'll end up, it's not in this tower.
Well, where is it then?
It's in a bamboo hut on the river, like my father and I had.
And I'll be your fish one.
Which, of course, is exactly what they created for themselves.
Have you ever cast a net, Lady Dae'mar?
I might have.
Lady Dae'mar.
And then we'll retire.
Do you mean that?
Yes. But you'll be my fish one.
So note that she's still referring to as Lady Dae'mar because this is during the war that cast down her house.
Is that going to be important for later?
The war is over. The Aiel are retreating.
Here it comes.
You must find the dragon reborn and prepare the world to follow.
Guitar.
Yep. And thus did they receive their heavy burden. That was well done.
Leave us, daughter. She's no threat to me.
I'll be right outside.
Wow.
Mother.
I like the subtext there. Even in her face, the subtext of she's no threat to me.
I left to protect the people I love.
Don't be so selfish. You were born to protect this world. Every person in it. Not just the ones you love.
Damn straight. It's a heavy burden, but it's the most important one in the world.
There's one rule above all others for being a man. Whatever comes, you face it on your feet.
In little shades of
Give me your blade.
land training.
Aaron dips the wing. You've been learning
Nice,
forms.
Rand.
I've learned a couple of things.
Keep the sword. If the Amelin's afraid of you, won't be for a sword.
They covered a lot of ground in a very short amount of time in the scene.
If you're going to use one of the forms, use cat crosses the courtyard. Keep your back straight. Every muscle loose, as if hung from a wire at the top of your head. Go. The Amelin waits.
The dragon's theme. The rising sun of Cairhien. There's a lot of layers of things happening here, guys. There's a lot of layers. Oh shit. Was that a fade? The way it just sort of showed up seemed like it was.
Welcome to farm.
Hello, Lanfear. What are you up to?
Is this a dream?
Oh no, you're very much awake.
Wait, is he really awake? Does she travel him here? That was cool. That was very well done. So whether he wanted to go or not, he ended up being forced to go.
Those soldiers will be heading to the palace. We'll go straight there, find a Gawain.
No,
We've tried your way.
you said there was no gear traveling with your friend Perrin, correct?
This time you listen to me and do exactly as I say.
Naive. Oh man, I'm loving watching those two develop their relationship.
Now follow Thomas.
No, we have our task.
There's 3 of us.
I don't want us separated if there's a Forsaken in this city.
2 to 1.
I love how we're echoing Dae'mar with the Aes Sedai as well, because of course the Aes Sedai play a lot of political games too. I just really want to make sure that you guys who didn't read the books, that you're paying very close attention to all these interactions and to the specific words that are being used as well by different characters.
Just come in here.
All right.
Sedai.
We're about to get some confirmation of some things.
You have to trust someone. At some point, Moiraine. You can't do this by yourself.
Especially now.
Do you know what Tower Law says the Amelin must do if she finds the dragon reborn?
Gentle him.
Gentle him? No!
Enslave him.
Some of my red daughters would want that, I suppose, but we are meant to cage you. Keep you shielded, channeling only when we want what we want.
I won't live in your cage.
Oh my goodness, that was not just his voice, guys.
A single Aes Sedai can handle you like bait fish. We would have been so much better off if you were a girl.
That's a pretty strong one. Of course, Egwene is going to be much
The wave
stronger.
almost reached us. Rena, what have you named your Damani?
I let her keep her name. Egwene.
Let's see what this Egwene can do.
It's interesting to read the disapproval in her face. Like,
You saw her light, didn't you?
you're so weak.
You will be brighter than her. You will be bright enough that every sul'dam in Fallen will see you shine. I know that you're mine.
Have to keep reminding myself she doesn't know any better. She was raised this way.
Don't worry. I don't need anything from you for this.
Like the subtle ways that the mystery is being doled out here. Yep. There aren't that many who are stronger than her. Which really should scare you when you think about the fact that Nynaeve is at least 10 times as powerful.
Wisdom Almira.
Yeah, how about you keep your voice down there?
Elaine Jacquard, daughter heir of Andor.
Get up. Don't encourage her.
The old prison, outside the palace.
We need to get there, now.
There is no way in. Only the sul'dam are allowed within 100 feet of it.
You had to get sneaky.
We have everything we need.
What you got? What you got? What's in the bag?
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Is this a sex thing or a murder thing? 'Cause either way, I prefer you skip the talking.
Matt. I really like this Matt. Look, you can see Shamiel thinking about it.
I have a gift for you.
So I guess they confirmed that little bit of
forgotten so much.
Question.
But not all of it was technology. This tea shows you things.
I mean, that's still technically
Lets you
technology.
glimpse your past lives. All the people you used to be. 1,000 years. And through all of that,
Interesting.
the real one.
I still think we're getting fins, guys. I'm not going to elaborate on that to protect the show onlys, but I think we're going to cover a little bit of it with Ishii here, of what happens with fins.
First time I took this was the first time I ever slept through the night.
Learned the truth of the cycle. They're doing some very interesting remixing in this show. It's been one of my favorite things about it so far. Just seeing how they take the different threads from the book and kind of tweak them a little bit so that some of them move a little faster, some of them move a little more efficiently. They did a really good job of actually showing how Aiel can basically be like almost invisible, because I barely noticed her too. All quickly asking, hey, do we need to kill that guy? Is everything all right?
Her wounds were too deep. An infection took hold.
This spot felt more like home.
If I find out that there were subtitles included for the hand talking that I didn't get to see, just like I keep not getting subtitles for the old tongue, I'm going to be pretty pissed. Yeah, dude, she's got toe. She's got to take it. I tell you, man. Aiel culture's so brutal. Man, even Hopper wants to protect her, because Hopper, you are the goodest of boys. Okay, guys. I think the balance has been restored. That's enough, okay?
You are soft, weak.
You gonna drink it? You gonna go on that trip? You gonna chase that dragon? At his heart, Matt's a gambler, man. He's always gonna roll the dice.
You've always been rotten.
Oh, wow.
Like him. Like him.
Flicker, flicker, flicker. That was a really creative way of doing the flicker, flicker.
Just like him.
Man, he's having a rough trip. You don't just leave someone alone to trip balls like that, Ishamiel.
He's no more ready now than he was before you found him. You left the fate of the world to chance. For your pride.
I mean, she's got a point.
Tomorrow,
Here's the thing, though.
when Queen Galdrian returns, we shall announce him as dragon.
Oh dear.
Don't
If you're
worry,
strong
it's
enough,
temporary.
though, you can
He has to
break a
channel to
shield.
keep the shield in place, but when it drops, you'll feel yourself again.
I'm surprised they have just one person channeling to maintain this shield.
If you're waiting for Moraine...
I'm not here for Moraine, said I. And I'm tired of waiting.
Okay. Yep, here we go.
Leave us, Mother.
It's our confirmation.
Please.
We have a guest.
This is royal business.
So it's just Barthanes, then.
She is my aunt.
Exactly. Even she will be unprepared for this. And if your mother suspects anything, take care of her too.
Uh-oh. Who was listening?
Hush. Hush now.
Aftercare is important, guys.
We just come back. Again. And again. And all I want is just to close my eyes one day.
And never open them
And
again.
never have to open them again.
It's a shame that something like that can be so compelling a desire, you know?
Isn't Moiraine with you? Surely she can do something.
Maybe she will. Maybe I won't need you.
Oh, Lanfear.
Oh,
Her
I
little
do like
games.
it when you try to manipulate me.
Can you get me out or not, Lanfear?
Oh, she's wearing white, guys, or her, silvery gray. Just casually strolling through the city, blowing shit up. I wasn't expecting her to just go ahead and do this. Age of Legends Aes Sedai are terrifying.
Through there.
I hear screaming. I love how Lan's sort of playing his own little game right now.
What do you see when you look at Moiraine?
A desperate, lonely woman who has given her life to a cause beyond her understanding.
What else do you see, though?
Madness is expecting a stray dancer from the man you helped lock away.
Their weave sung her.
But nothing being channeled into them.
How is that possible?
I don't know, it's just like...
Many things were lost from the Age of Legends.
The key.
Nice. Nicely done.
You think I've forgotten what you did to Cairhien Steppen? You will get this key when they take you back to the White Doe. The two brown sisters are desperate to study a man who can channel.
There's so much good work going on right now, guys, and I can't really tell you how good it is without spoilers.
It's a secret.
Shut up.
The way they're remixing things is so good. I'm here to break out my asshole ex-boyfriend.
This ring, it means you're owned by a wetlander woman, yes?
Owned.
And you can lie with no one else? Daen will be disappointed. Yes, will not care.
Oh, good old Bane and Chiat. Ah, yeah. Staring at the ocean, right? More water than any Aiel's probably ever seen.
What do you think it'll do when we try to put it on?
I don't know. But I hope it hurts.
Ah, here we go.
Fits well, don't you think?
Well, we jump-started this one. Ah, the Egwene's comforting herself by messing with her braid.
I realized why you fight me. It's because no one's told you why we are here. The Shanshan Empress has one charge: to unite every person on this planet under the light. The last battle is coming. And we will only be able to fight it if we stand together. All of us, including you and me.
The road to hell is paved with good intentions, right? I like that they're reminding us that everyone thinks they're doing something good. Like everyone.
Yes, Egwene.
I will kill you.
Still defiant. I'm surprised you didn't do anything to punish her there, Renna. But doing so would admit that she's afraid and that she isn't in control. Your mom got to hear first.
There are two things my sister understands better than anyone. The difference between right and wrong, and how much harder it is sometimes to do what is right. Mother, please.
Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff that's gonna go sideways because of this decision, even though it is the right thing to do.
You can't tell anybody. I already have.
Oh shit.
Mother!
Wow. So House Dae'mar is done.
Where will you take him?
Farm, Tommen Head.
Above Tommen's head shall he proclaim himself, bannered across the sky in fire.
Gotta fulfill some prophecies.
You're not alone in this any longer, sister. But you need to hurry. The city is not safe. I hope you're with this boy.
Hey, you put some respect on his name, okay? That's like freaking future past space Jesus you're talking to.
Link with me.
What are you planning to do?
Wait for it.
Oh, just make rain and put all the fires out? Did that really require a link? I mean, I would think Swan's strong enough on her own to do that.
It's a story from the Age of Legends about the Forsaken's powers. A skill that's been lost for thousands of years.
Tying off
weaves. To tie off weaves and leave them in place. It is a shield that he's tied off. Which means...
it can be undone.
It can be removed.
Yes. What do I need to do? You don't have the skill to untie this knot.
Oh, I was really hoping it would be Rand. It would just be so satisfying to have Rand be the one who restores her power.
Pay attention.
Maybe Luz Theron can help out a little. Oh, man. Be careful. He did it. Good job, Rand.
Thank you.
To be whole again. They did a really good job there, guys. But where's Swan? All right, go. Go, go, go. No time for dilly-dallying. Oh, man.
You swore to obey me on the oath rod. An unbreakable oath. Bound by the One Power.
Oh, shit.
Swan. Moraine Dae'mar.
No, if you have ever loved me, don't
I
do this.
command you to close the Waygate.
Rand, just run through. Oh, wait, no, he's held in place, too. He's not just shielded. Rand, you have the power to break that shield, my dude. Trust me on this. Summon all the strength of all those infinite past, future lives and just break that shield. Well, this relationship's over. And that must be what it feels like to be under compulsion. You guys both believe you're doing what's right. Oh, shit.
She's too strong, Swan.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Lucky for you, a broken Amrlin is more useful to me than a dead one.
Wow, look how quickly and easily Lanfear opened the way gate. It's like just boop. Moiraine had to do all that shit to open it, and Lanfear just was like boop. God damn, the Forsaken are powerful. Oh man, the last thing that Swan is going to see is Moiraine leaving through the Waygate with an untamed dragon and one of the freaking Forsaken. That's got to be really fucking confusing. No, that's sad though. Wow. Wow.
Wow.
So there were a ton of remixes there, but I think they were all really well done. They managed to basically pull together a lot of threads that were sort of spread out across a really long period of time and condense them into basically one episode almost, and hint at a bunch of things to come too. I really can't talk about most of that though, because I can't really think of a way to do it without talking about spoilers. But it was very satisfying to me to see that Rand ended up being the person to untie the shield that Ishamael put onto Moiraine. I really like that, like what that does for their relationship. I like that we got to talk about the different philosophies of what to do with the dragon, like the actual dragon, rather than people just proclaiming themselves to be. I got that we got a little more peppering in of the idea that maybe Logain might have more to teach Rand. It was also a nice touch that Logain was the one to be able to confirm what Lan was thinking. And I love the fact that this whole episode was also basically being driven by Lan doing his best to protect Moiraine and to do his job as a warder, even though their bond was masked and Moiraine couldn't channel and all that kind of stuff. He still was out there trying to advance her mission, trying to make sure that she would be safe and well and able to do the things that she wanted to do. And I liked also that we got like our, touches of Lan's sort of mentorship of Rand. That was really cool. One of the biggest remixes that I will talk about, even though I'll do my best to be cagey. I liked what was going on with Mat and Ishii. That we get to see, we get to really hear him explain exactly what his philosophy is on why the wheel needs to be broken, why he is willing to pledge himself to the dark. And remember what he told Lanfear a few episodes ago, where he said, the reason why he was released first, because of all the Forsaken. He's the only one who truly believes in what the Dark One is trying to do. So, at least in theory, as presented by Ishamael, the Dark One's motivation is the same as Ishamael's. He wants, at least on the surface of it, it appears that he wants the endless cycle of suffering and everything to end. I like that it feels like we're even giving more depth to the Dark One, like that. I mean, that was the Dark One's motivation anyway, but like just the idea of like maybe tying it to
what's wrong with your eyes? Not
just wanting to end just the cycle in general or take control of the cycle or anything, but wanting to end the suffering inherent in the cycle of endless rebirth. And it's kind of funny too, because obviously Jordan chose like a modified version of yin yang as the symbol of the ancient Aes Sedai and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of Eastern philosophical ideas in here. And of course, in Hinduism and Buddhism, you get the idea of, samsara, I think, where you have like the cycle. I'm pretty sure samsara is the cycle of endless rebirth. And you have dharma, which I think is the wheel. But like this idea that like all of us are bound to this cycle, infinite cycle of time. And Buddha, of course, the whole idea there was that he figured out a way to achieve, I believe the word is sunyata. I can't remember what exactly it translates to, but like basically like this idea of like you achieve a kind of, sort of like you transcend all of the things that tie you to the wheel, and thus you break the cycle of rebirth so that you basically can just cease to exist as an individual. That's kind of like the highest goal under Buddhism. But the Dark One aims to take it one step further, where it's not just that you cease to exist as an individual, you just cease to exist, period. Everything ceases to exist. And Ishii is on board with that. And it kind of looks like he may have converted Mat to his way of thinking by the end of this. It is a little bit sad that we didn't get to see Mat see his past lives, because it was obviously hinted at that by Ishii that was something that the drink he gave him would allow him to do. But I'm guessing they're saving that for you know, finishing school.
I understood that reference.
I like that we got a little nod at that, though, with a certain moment in the mirror there. You guys, you book readers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, we got a further deepening of our understanding of Aiel culture, what Ji-Ito means to them, and like the various ways in which, you know, the two concepts get balanced. Bane and Shiad obviously beat the shit out of her, but, you know, as Perrin even was like sitting there trying to reason out, now they're buddies again. It's not really a malice thing necessarily. It's just you have to balance your obligation versus your honor and all that kind of stuff. And that was enough to do it. She took her punishment, you know, like a spear maiden, and that's good enough. It wasn't really done out of anger or hate. And it echoes quite a few things. Like, understanding Ji-Ito is so important to understanding like everything the Aiel do. For those of you who haven't read the books, I want you to think about what you know about, what you've learned so far about the Ji-Ito thing with the Aiel, and think about the war. Because the war that they were referencing even in this episode 20 years ago that brought down House Dae'mar and everything was when the Aiel came across out of the their land, the Threefold Land, and attacked Cairhien. And it ended when they killed the king. Once they killed the king, they just were like, we're done, and fucked out of there. You know, their sole goal was to kill the king. And so, you know, just think about Ji-Ito in relationship to that.
I think he's trying to tell us something, Robin.
I'm sure we'll get a few more details about the war and everything over time, so I'm not going to go deeper, but just keep that in mind. And I liked seeing the whole theme that this episode was named after of Dae'mar play out across multiple factions and multiple levels, because we had, you know, what was going on inside House Dae'mar, we had what was going on with the Aes Sedai, the different groups, and whether they trust each other, how much they trust each other, going behind each other's backs and figuring out creative ways to phrase things so that they could achieve certain effects. Very well done. And it was just really fun also just seeing Lanfear come in her basically, you know, silvery white costume, wrecking shit and just showing how effortlessly Age of Legends Aes Sedai can do stuff that modern Aes Sedai have a really hard time doing. Like, you know, you have like groups of Aes Sedai nowadays who have to, or, you know, in the continuity of the show, who have to link together to achieve something that Lanfear probably could have done with a flick of her wrist all by herself. And I really like the bit where Moiraine had to do all of that complicated crap to open that way gate, and Lanfear literally just walks up to it and does this, and it opens. That was great. I'm really enjoying the show. As you can tell, season 2 continues to impress me with how much tighter and just well done it is. I want to know what you guys think and where you think we're going with the finale. They keep teasing this concept of like a fiery battle and banner and all this other stuff in the sky, guys. What do you think that's all about?
All right, then. Keep your secrets.
And also, definitely can't leave off without, you know, really enjoying Egwene telling Rhaena straight to her face, "I'm gonna kill you." Do you think she's gonna kill her? Do you think she'll actually be able to fire that particular Chekhov's gun, guys, or do you think not? And what do you think was going on with that sul'dam that they collared? That was interesting, huh? Anyway, guys, I will see you next week for the finale, which I'm super excited about, and find out, you know, what Egwene's going to get up to, what that sul'dam, who now has a collar around her neck, is going to get up to, what Mat's going to get up to, and whether when Rand arrives in Falm, whether there will be any sky shenanigans. Don't forget to use your spoiler warnings and space in the comments if you're going to talk about stuff that hasn't happened yet. Got to keep the book onlys pure, and we also got to remember that I have not read Lord of Chaos and onward yet, so, you know, don't talk about Dumai's wells and shit. Anyway, guys, I'll see you next week. Thanks as always. Do your best as always to stay safe and be well, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Lanfear.